What's up, guys? This is Stephen Melin at Video Game Music Alliance. And today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite topics, which is how to unlock your potential as a video game music composer, specifically in the realm of business. In fact, let's talk about 10 reasons that you need to build an email list as a video game music composer. The reason is simple. We all need more work. We all need more custom projects. We need more sales. And all of that comes back to one very simple principle. We need to build relationships with game developers, because game developers are the ones that hire us to write custom music. Or in the case of selling video game music packs or selling albums, we still need these people in our lives, and we need to have communication with them. We need to have constant communication with them so that we are at the front of their mind when they're ready to hire. And how cool is it that we can use email as a way of scaling, as a way of reaching more people? There's nothing wrong with social media. There's nothing wrong with going to conferences. There's nothing wrong with using the latest and greatest technology to communicate our message to people. However, we have to be careful that there is a distinct difference between a private conversation and a public conversation. Most platforms are public. If other people are involved in the conversation, it's pretty fascinating how that is a terrible platform to use for selling something, because people don't want to be put on the spot. They don't want other people watching when they're trying to make a purchase decision. So it's imperative that if you're going to sell something, that you do it in a private context. Now, the old school way would be to jump on the phone or to have a one-on-one conversation in real life, in person. But in this day and age, I know that that is more and more challenging, and we have technology that can really do a lot of the heavy lifting for us, that can help propel our message forward at scale. So this is why I want to talk about email and why it's so incredibly helpful to have an email list so that you can have direct communication with your game developers and, in effect, create a system that is always generating new leads, that is always generating fresh conversations, and is keeping your game developers at top of mind so that when they're ready to buy, you're the person that they reach out to. So let's talk about 10 reasons to build an email list as a video game music composer. Reason number 1, you need an email list, is direct communication. This is so important because if you think about it, if you were to post something that you're trying to sell on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or any other platform, how many of your followers, the people that actually subscribe to your channel or click the like button, how many of those hundreds or thousands of people actually see the message? It's not 100%. At best, maybe 20%, 30%. And those are people who have elected by clicking those buttons to subscribe to your channel or to like your page, and they're not even seeing what you're putting out there. So you can already see how that model doesn't work. And as algorithms continue to change, it's just going to become worse. And as it becomes more proliferated with more people, it just becomes this sea of oversaturation. But the cool thing about a direct communication, an email list, is the person in your email list has elected by grabbing one of your free lead magnets, as we've talked about on this channel before. They've grabbed one of your free lead magnets. They're now inside your inner circle, and now they get to have this direct communication with you, because when you send an email, the person on the other end has the opportunity to hit reply, and they can talk back to you. That's huge. And it is something that you can move forward with, knowing that you're always growing. And it's a very practical, tactical way of seeing your analytics of this is a number that continues to grow that directly relates to your sales down the line. Reason number 2, promote releases. As a music composer, we can use our list to promote new releases. Maybe it's a new album, a single, a video game music pack, or like me, perhaps you're an educator and you write books, so you can promote your books. You can promote courses. Or perhaps also like me, you create sample library instruments. So you can talk about those. You can get hype. You can start talking about things before they even release. That way you can start getting some interest. Maybe in the case of pre-selling something, you can actually get money today to then use to build the product that you're going to sell later. So using this email list is huge for constantly having conversations with your audience. Number 3, build an audience. This matters because part of having the email list in the first place is to build that fan base, is to keep your audience engaged so that when they're ready to buy from you, you're available and you're at top of mind. Number 4, share content. So of course, we can share content on other platforms, and you should. But what's neat about having an email list is every single time you share your content, you know that the other person receiving it actually has the opportunity to then watch it or not, to listen to it or not. So this is an incredible way to also share exclusive content, things like behind the scenes, things like maybe a documentary style video where you're showing how you created something, maybe some photos or videos or previews of upcoming releases. There are so many things that you can use email list for that allow you to share your content in a regular, recurring way that your audience will never get that experience simply through social media or through YouTube. Number 5, get feedback. This is really where email lists start to just absolutely shine. You can get direct feedback from your audience, the people you're trying to sell to, through email. You can ask questions, you can take polls. One of my favorite ways is to create Google Forms, which are essentially short surveys that then collect all of that data into a Google Sheet, which is like an Excel spreadsheet that you can then go through and you can, I'm a nerd with data, so I like to make pie charts and stuff and bar graphs to kind of compare data. But essentially, you can get real feedback from the people you're trying to serve. I mean, think of the alternative. If you're going to go post videos on YouTube, if you're going to create a podcast, if you're going to try to sell a video game music pack on one of the asset stores, like Unity, for example, you don't have any analytics to really back up what you're doing. And you can't even really track if that post really, truly led to a sale because there's no clickable link to even see if someone went from YouTube to your product, or if they went through your social media to your product, or if they bought the video game music pack, like where do they get that information from? So it is so much more direct to consumer to be able to get this feedback directly from your people. It is the greatest thing ever. So if no other reason, this is the reason to have an email list. But let's keep going. Number 6, increase your sales. Most of you want to increase your sales. We want to promote. We want to actually sell the things that we make. And that obviously comes in lots of forms. It could be your custom music services, but it could also be your products. It could be something from your website that you're trying to sell. The reason email lists matter is you can use your email list to directly promote. You can talk about the features of your products. You can talk about the features of your services, but I would go one step further. I would actually just share stories from your other customers that you've already served, because that emotional connection is going to provide an opportunity for people to actually connect on a human level instead of just, a list of features and reasons. People don't usually want intellectual reasons to buy from you. They just want an emotional connection, and they want to know that you're a human too. Number 7, build relationships. This is great. An email list allows us as music composers to build relationships with our fans, which leads to more support, more engagement, and more sales in the long run, because this is a relationship industry. I really can't even think of a time that I've ever, maybe once or twice in my whole career out of hundreds of projects, I can only think of 1 or 2 times that someone has reached out to me, I wrote the music, and then we never talked again. That is so rare. Versus 99.9% of the time, the projects I work on are with friends and they're with repeat clients. It's because I have built relationships over time. So I don't want you to think that just because we're using email that it's going to be impersonal because it's just text. No. Use the email as a way to start the relationship, to nurture the relationship, and then when this game developer is ready to hire you or to buy your music pack, jump on a call, jump on a Zoom call, have a conversation outside of email. And that way you can really start to put some pieces together and you can extend the relationship from there. But you see how email is still a powerful, and I still think the most powerful way to start the conversation, build the conversation, and then over time to nurture that conversation and that relationship. Number 8, drive traffic. Now, why do we want to drive traffic? Well, if you have a website, I hope you have a website as a music composer, you have a portfolio, right? You have your music, you have maybe YouTube videos of your music or using your music in games, or if you're selling music packs, you have that website. You want to be able to drive traffic to these places, and you need to be strategic about it. You shouldn't just use email as a way to just post every link to everything you've ever made, because that's just going to overwhelm people. But when you can send one specific link to one thing that solves a problem for your game developer, such as a game music pack, or maybe a tutorial that you've created, or a blog post that you wrote that solves one of their problems, it's really powerful, because now you have, let's say you have 1,000 people on your email list, and let's say only, air quotes, only 10% or 20% of your audience actually reads the email. That's still 200-ish people that have now gone and clicked on the link to the thing that you're trying to send them to. And it doesn't always have to be a sale. In fact, I would recommend to not sell every single email, because people will leave that email list real quick. But instead, regularly post and send 1 or 2 pieces of valuable content per week. And what that does is it drives your audience to more value. And that means every time that they're around you, in this case in your inbox, they're getting something amazing. They're learning something specific from you, or they're getting more value from you. And then when you do ask for the sale every once in a while, let's say once a month or maybe once a quarter, you ask for that sale and boom, things actually happen because they've built a positive relationship with you. And now this is your way to drive traffic. So in this case, I would say drive traffic to places and resources that actually add value. And side note, it doesn't even have to be your own product. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos and I read a lot of blog articles. So I like to send people to these resources, to these books that I read, to these videos that I watch, because I know that it's going to add more value to them. And it's easy because I'm already consuming this stuff and I found it helpful. So now this is a way to directly help the people I'm trying to serve. Number 9, cross promotion. So in that same vein, we don't have to do everything ourselves. I don't have to create all the products in the world, right? But what I can do is I can cross promote. So if I have another buddy who writes music and I think that they're going to be just an amazing fit for some of my audience, and maybe my friend created a video game music pack, I can use my email list to promote this other person's work, right? And what this does is it creates this beautiful synergy that now maybe my friend, when I release something, they want to send their thousands of people to come check out my stuff or to come stream my music. You see how this starts to work? It starts to build a community. And again, because of point number 1, because we have that direct communication with these game developers, it's like recommending something to a close friend times 1,000 or tens of thousands, depending on how large your email list is. And it grows all the time. So this is one of the best ways to long-term grow a business. Number 10, stay connected. This one's huge. If you think about game developers and the way that they work with us, so often a game developer will buy one product from us. They'll buy a music pack and then they'll use it in their game, or they'll hire us for custom music. And one of the issues with game development is it takes a long time. So someone making an independent game might take 3 years, 4 years, sometimes up to 7 years to create a game. So they don't need your services as a composer every single year. So how valuable is it to stay connected over the years and always delivering high quality content so that when this game developer is ready to hire you and they have a bigger budget the next time around, you're ready for them. But don't just be trapped in that mindset. Also consider that what if they want to recommend you to their friends because they had a positive experience? That's another huge reason why you should always stay connected as you continue to grow your community. And bonus reason, number 11, you own it. This is one of my favorite reasons, actually. If YouTube or social media were to disappear tomorrow, which, by the way, I've had this happen in real life where Twitter has gone down or YouTube has gone down or Facebook has gone down, and all of a sudden, I could not contact my followers in that platform. So what did I do? I went to my email list and I said, hey guys, FYI, this platform is down. Or I didn't even talk about that. I just went straight into talking about whatever value I wanted to add to them that day or that week by sending them more content or promoting some sales. Having an email list is the ultimate insurance, if you will, against the calamity that usually strikes social media platforms, because you never know which one's going to kick the can next. And you also never know what kind of algorithm changes are coming or what kind of ownership changes are coming. You can't build a business, or at least you can. You shouldn't. It's not wise to build a business on sinking sand, on something that is not a strong foundation. And the reason an email list is so powerful is because you own it, because you literally pay every single month to keep your email list, to keep your platform. So it's a absolutely powerful, game-changing technology that you need to have as a video game music composer. So you're probably wondering, okay, Steven, you've persuaded me. I need to get an email list. What do you use? Well, I use ConvertKit. ConvertKit is a very, very simple tool that allows you to collect emails through landing pages and forms. And you can put these on any website. You can have them as a standalone URL, which is really nice. So what this means is you can create a free lead magnet from inside ConvertKit, such as a video game music pack or some free music or a free guide. And what you do is you attach this to the page and you can use this link directly anywhere. So on your website, on your YouTube page, at the end of a video, at the end of a piece of content. And what this does is it allows you to exchange your free piece of content for an email. And once you have that email, you can set up really cool things called automations and sequences. And essentially what you are doing is you can provide automatic value. As soon as someone joins, you can start giving them really cool stuff that you set up in advance, and you can do this for hundreds or thousands of people every single day. And what this is doing is creating a system that on the back end is generating leads for you literally every single day and growing over time and building relationships. So I absolutely adore ConvertKit. And in full transparency, here at Video Game Music Alliance, I have an affiliate account with ConvertKit, which simply means if you sign up for ConvertKit, you will get a free trial of it. And every time that you pay, VGMA will actually receive a small portion of that to help fund VGMA. So if this video has been helpful for you, I wanted to let you know about that. Check the link in the description below. And I hope that that is a huge blessing to you. ConvertKit is so wonderful. I've used it for 3 music businesses and continue to use it every single week, every single month, because it is so powerful and it allows me to stay in direct communication with my multiple audiences. And it's an absolute game changer. And I'll even say, I've used other email clients before this, and I've had such miserable experiences with them because they're just so complicated that I gave up on email lists for a long time until a friend actually recommended that I check out ConvertKit. I checked it out, and I was blown away with how simple and easy it is to use. And I particularly like that it is actually scalable based on how many subscribers you have. So what that means is if you have very few subscribers, it's completely free. But after you hit a certain threshold, you pay a little bit per month. And then as you go higher and higher and higher, so if you have tens of thousands of subscribers, you are going to pay way more than someone who has less. but this is my business. This is directly the way that I make sales and earn a living to support my family. So that's quite all right because it comes out of those business expenses. So if this is something that you want to give a try, I recommend that you give it a shot. Click on that link down below in the description. And I hope that that is a huge blessing to you as you start this journey of building an email list. And this is actually a series that I'm going to be doing over the coming months. So some of the topics that we're going to be covering in this email list series, we're going to be talking about how to build a landing page that grows your audience quickly, how to create attractive free lead magnets for your audience so that they will want and they feel like they need to join your email list. We're going to talk about how to create that first email to your new subscriber and how to make it fire. We'll be talking about how to create that first 5-day sequence and why that matters so much to keeping that interaction with your audience. I'll also be talking about how to increase your sales with email rules and automations, how to sell a video game music pack specifically with your email list, how to get more custom music jobs with your email list, and some specific strategies behind some things that you can add there, how to collaborate with other composers, and how to really take advantage of the cross-promotion section that we talked about earlier. And finally, we're going to talk about how to use your email list to grow your career as a video game music composer. So I hope that this series is the best possible content online, period. I actually considered turning this into a paid course, but I figured that this information is so needed and so helpful that it just needs to be available. So that is my heart behind this, and I hope that even just this first video is a huge blessing to you. So go grab ConvertKit, give it a shot. It is a free trial to start, and it stays free until you hit a certain threshold, and you can check that out on the website. But yeah, I hope that this has been helpful, and leave me a comment below letting me know some specific questions you might have that you'd love for me to cover throughout this process. And I look forward to sharing more about building email lists and growing your business as a video game music composer. Talk to you soon.